Ronda Rousey's title was lost in a stunning defeat to the new champion Holly Holm at UFC 193 in November 2015. This was Ronda's first fight since defeating Kat Zingano in February of 2015 at UFC 184. Holly Holm delivered an impressive display of striking in the octagon which eventually overwhelmed Ronda Rousey. It was a very close fight right up until the final minute of the second round when Holly Holm caught Ronda with a tremendous head kick that led to her eventual defeat. The fight was stopped after a barrage of punches from Holm, shocking the crowd. This stunning upset gave Holly the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship and a fifth consecutive victory in mixed martial arts. Ronda Rousey was devastated after the fight, understandably unable to face the media afterward as she was taken away to a hospital. Her loss marked the first defeat in her MMA career and the end to a reign that had seen her defended the Bantamweight title 6 times since winning it in 2013. Many speculate that Ronda's confidence leading up to the fight may have been her downfall, as she was so sure of a victory that she didn't try as hard as she could have. Others believe that her rival, Holly Holm, had been preparing for this fight for much longer than Ronda, leading to a much better performance in the octagon. Ronda had underestimated the threat posed by Holm, and this led to her eventual loss of the title. After her victory, Holm credited her team for their hard work and for helping her to become the best fighter she could possibly be. We could say consequences of Ronda's overconfidence cost her the title, as she was taken by surprise when Holm was able to dominate during the fight. Many have since taken note of the fact that Ronda didn't seem to have improved much since her previous fights, something which may have baited Holm in her victory. It was unclear what led to Rousey's defeat, with some attributing it to Holm's decisive counter-striking during the match or the fact that Ronda was unable to adapt her strategy to counter the threat posed by Holm. The debate continues over what happened to Ronda Rousey that night. Did she lack the focus needed to win? Did she underestimate her opponent? Or was Holly Holm simply too strong for her? Despite all these possibilities, it is clear that Ronda's loss was due in part to her own failings, as she was not able to utilize her strengths to counter the threat posed by Holm. Ronda Rousey's title was lost due to a lack of preparation on her part and a lack of recognition regarding the talent and skill of Holm. Before the fight, both Ronda and her team were overconfident, and this attitude ultimately cost her the title, as she wasn't able to adjust her strategy accordingly when faced with such a formidable opponent. Rousey's defeat was not only a defeat of her body, but also a defeat of her strategy, as she appeared unable to adjust to the threat posed by Holm in the octagon. Holm's victory was the result of her superior skill and strategy and Ronda's inability to recognize or adapt to the threat posed by her opponent. Ronda's ego may have played a part in her defeat, as she was not able to adjust her attitude and skill set when faced with such a formidable opponent. The public was shocked by her loss, particularly due to the manner in which it was achieved, with many believing that Ronda was not the same fighter as before. Many have argued that Ronda's title was ushered away by her own negligence in training and her own overconfidence in the octagon. Ronda Rousey's defeat was a reminder to all athletes of the importance of preparation and strategic thinking in any competitive sport.